So the Dark World then. Now our first port of call should normally be the Palace of Darkness, but we're going to go down here and fetch this piece of heart. We're also going to use the magic mirror to do a bit of trickery and see if we can get items at the earliest point we can possibly get them. So the Dark World's not actually that big and scary, to be fair. I mean, there's a few scary things like the bomb guy here, but he's pretty harmless and pretty stupid, so they don't even really chase you. The soldiers do. Right, so the first thing we're going to go is here and use the magic mirror in this spot. That takes us back to the light world. And we can go under this bridge here and speak to a happy vagrant. And he's going to give us a brand new bottle. Thank you, vagrant. I mean, the least we could have done is give him a rupee or something, but well, he seems happy enough. Then we head back into the shiny portal, back to the Dark World. Right, so now we're going to head up to the point where the witch's hut was. If you're not familiar with the map of this game, you can always check. It's quite obvious where most things are. It's not that complicated a map, but the more you walk around, the more familiar you'll get with it. So we'll go back up here, and we, after killing the guys, right, so use the magic mirror in about this spot and transport back to the light world, and we can hand the witch the mushroom that we found in the woods. And once we've done that, we've just got to refresh the game, so that's either move to another screen or yep, come back for something good. So we've got to refresh the game now, so that's either go to another screen or just go back through the warp and redo what I just did, which is what I'm going to do. Magic mirror. Hey presto. And we head into the shop and we can get a bag of magic powder, which is not an amazingly useful item, but there's certain enemies that it can deal with, which is really handy. For instance, them little seemingly invincible floating skull things with the fireballs around them, they're normally invincible. But if you throw magic powder on them, they turn into fairies. So that's good. So now we're going to head up this way and go and find a circle of stones. So some of these skulls come to life. You think they're rocks, but they're not. They're hiding. So head up towards where the Waterfall of Wishing was. The Waterfall of Wishing isn't there, but what is there? If we go and check the warning, there's a sign that says curses to anyone who throws something into my circle of stones. So with that, we grab the sign that says that and throw it into the circle of stones. So take that. And there's Jimmy the fish. And now we've got our first magic medallion, which is the Quake medallion. Which is quite handy. We actually need it later on, so that's an essential item. That's not something you want to miss. You know, so stuff like the ice rod and things. I mean, yeah, it's useful, but it's not overly essential. Whereas the Quake medallion, you do actually need it later on, so. Right, so I think now we're going to head straight down to the Palace of Darkness. So I can skip this bit because you just need to look on the map to know where your route is. Right, so here we are at the entrance to the maze. Just check what's in here. A little sort of tree fella. Yeah, bad luck. There's not much useful in here, to be fair. There's a couple of hearts and things. Oh, I should warn you, if you... I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't have by this point, but you will need at least 110 rupees to progress from this point on. And you'll see why in a minute. But to be fair, you probably should have that. Because there's no reason not to. I've got 860, so... I mean, 110 is all you actually need at this point. Just follow our way through the maze. And there's a little monkey, Kiki. So we have to give him 10 rupees. It'd be nice if you could just tell the little chancer to sod off, but that's not how it works. So yeah. To the Palace of Darkness. Give you 100 rupees, he'll open the entrance. Yes, he will. Yep, and there's no other way to get in. There's no avoiding it. You have to give him the money. Right, so the first Dark Palace. Ooh. Yeah, and all of these are basically going to be pretty much the same. If there's a room that you haven't been in, go there, because there's probably something hidden. There's probably a reason. There's not rooms here for no real reason. Pretty much every room has a purpose, even if it's only to get you to a point where you can go up a stairs or fall through the floor or something like that. And there's a lot of that. I mean, the Tower of Hero took it to extremes about the falling through the floor, but there's a lot of that needed to progress, so which you'll see in a minute. Spoilers, but you know, that's the way it is. So if you just follow what I'm doing here, then you shouldn't have any problems. I think I probably did get lost once or twice, but not overly. Like I say, when I'm playing this, I'm not... the only guide I'm using is the one that's in my head, so not everything is 100%, but I'm pretty confident I know where I'm going. Yeah, so these fellas here, I haven't done it at this point, but if you throw magic powder on them, they actually turn into fairies. But you can just avoid them, as I've done there. So yeah, they're little mimic guys. You need to hit these guys with arrows. I think the green ones you don't. You can actually hit them with your sword, but because they mimic your movements, that's more difficult. So it's much easier to hit them with a projectile. And usually that means arrows. So moving floor segment is very difficult to control. Bearing in mind, as I've mentioned previously, I don't have full directional control because of the controller I was using. I don't have any diagonals, so it makes stuff like this moving floor bit more difficult than it probably needs to be. So up the stairs to the top. And there's some jellyfish chaps. Yeah, much easier dealt with projectiles again. Because when they're flashing, they're obviously dangerous. Just throw things at them. Dead jellyfish. And there's the map. So it is useful to find everything in every dungeon. You just don't feel like you've completed it if you haven't done that. Fairy room. Oh, we've still got a couple trapped in bottles, so we don't really need them, but oh well, may as well. And another key. So that should really be all the hidden keys anyway. Never say never, but that's all the more sort of difficult to get ones, I think. Again, the moving floor is upsetting the controls. So now we just head back to the start. Now there is a quicker way of doing that, and that is just using the magic mirror. But of course if you do that, it resets the entire dungeon and everything we've killed comes back. So yeah, may as well go up and see, use this. Right, so that's Zelda telling us to hurry. Now, you don't worry about it, love. You just sit around and wait for me to come and rescue you. You know, don't proactively do anything towards your own rescue or anything like that. There we go. Much easier when you can just push a statue out of the way. So, the first key is used. Now these turtle enemies are a pain before you get the magic hammer, because you can't actually kill them. Well, maybe there is a way. I don't know the way, and I'm not willing to experiment for the sake of something that I will be able to kill in 5 minutes time. So yeah. Yeah, the little blue wobbly octopus fellas die in a couple of hits, but the red ones take ages. See, you can just take so many hits. There's about 10 hits in the end before them things die. Maybe not, but you know, it's a few anyway, put it that way. It's enough that it's irritating. Especially when they hit you, they don't just take away, they don't just damage you, they actually bounce you away from them. Which is fine if you're somewhere with you know, solid walls, but if you're on an area like that with no walls, that's really irritating. So we flick the switch. That might cause us problems actually in a minute, but never mind. And here's the tricky bit of the dungeon, you see, is we need to jump through the floor. Shh, it's a secret. So we've got all skulls to fetch here, and we go up the door before jumping down, because if we just jump down we're sort of stuck. And here's the chest with the big key. It is the master key of the dungeon. Right, now we need to fetch this thing, and we want to try and get out of here before these things come properly to life, because they're a pain as well. So we just run away, run away. So that's pretty much the hard part of this dungeon done. I don't know why I'm going back that way. That doesn't seem like it's very useful. Oh, maybe it is. No, I don't think it is. See, I did get lost then. There you are, proved it. I did get lost once. I can't remember where I'm supposed to be going. I think maybe I did that too, yeah. Because I can go that way. And yeah, I'm still stuck. So I basically have to go back the way I came. I can't remember why I'm doing this at all. I think it was to flick that switch. Kind of makes sense, but not really, because I still have to escape this bit. Oh well, that was a handier way of doing it. Isn't it nice when a game reminds you that you're about to die? Right, so this is another sort of quick-ish bit. We have to get to the other end. Oh no. See, that's what happens. Oh! Nasty. Luckily, we've got jars of fairies. But we still have to go back through the door and then back in again to reset the floor. So, take a skull with us this time maybe? No, didn't think of that. Gonna get knocked off again. See, sometimes, even though I know what I'm doing, and I've just been hit by one enemy, and I know what I should be doing, I still forget, even though it happened a second ago. So that's the trick. you have to take something to throw with you. Right, it's a bit of a dark maze. Now you can use the lantern and light this room up, but frankly, it's not that difficult. It's quite easy to see what's going on. The only thing really to avoid is these fire-spitting dragon things. Nothing overly taxing here. If we make our way right down to the bottom, there's a treasure chest with a key. And handily, a crack in the wall. Boom. So there we go, nice big chest with a toffee hammer in it. So now we can kill turtles. And break hard toffee. Which is the most useful thing for any hammer. Although I'd have said it's more of a mallet, looking at the shape of it, but, you know, what do I know? So yeah, hit the floor with the turtles on it, and then we can hit the turtles with the sword. Still takes 2 hits though, so, you know, not pretty resilient things, turtles. Shredder didn't have a chance, did he? Them ones don't even know ninja. So, secret treasure room. Now, we can avoid these fellas, or like I say, we can use magic powder and turn them into fairies, which is what I should have done. Key! Da-da-da, key! which looks like what I'm planning now, is to turn him into a fairy. There you are. Although you didn't see that, that's what happened there. I got all my life back. So now we can use one of our keys and go through the magic door. You'd think once you got the big key you'd be able to open the little doors as well. Because it does say it is the master key, and in my mind a master key means it opens all the doors. But that's not how the game works, so get over it. And we're back here. So now we do have to jump down there and flick the switch so we can get through to the next bit. And that's much easier. Why kill them when you can knock them off? Oops, like that. So we'll flick the switch and we can head to the next part of the dungeon. And then flick it back. So we have to move the statue into place. There we are. And more of these mimic fellas. I don't know what they are. Like sort of marsupial looking things, aren't they? Big pointy eared things. Run! Now we have to shoot this guy with an arrow. So the way ahead opens up. Seems a bit pointless, to be fair. But what are you going to do? Right. Do I need hammers? Because I think there's turtles in this next bit. So, there you go. Now we need to flick the switch again. All this switch flicking. Oh yeah, hammer. Or hammer. And more turtles to hammer. Did they just get faster? Is that what they do? Doesn't seem very fair, does it? They've already got loads of advantages. There's a door on that side. And no secrets in here. So, more turtles and more turtles. And here we come to the boss, the Helmosaur. Dun da da da. Possibly one of the toughest in the game. So there are two ways of tackling this. You can either do what I'm doing here and keep hitting him in the face with a hammer, or, which takes a few hits to be fair, but it's probably less dangerous unless he moves forward while you're not looking. Or you can throw bombs at him, which does only take 3 bombs, but you have to time it just right and not get in the way of the explosion and look out for his tail whipping towards you. I just find the mallet method, even though it takes longer, see, because his mask's already gone now, is easier. And yeah, you can just then hit him in the face with a sword a few times, 6 times I think. But again, remembering that I don't have any diagonals, it does make it slightly less than straightforward sometimes to beat the bosses, but hey ho, we cope with these things. So well, a great big heart. Ah, and a crystal. Onion, because of you I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. This world used to be the Golden Land where the Triforce was hidden, but because Ganon, the boss of thieves, wished it, the world was transformed. I'm sure he's intending to conquer even our light world after building his power here. He is trying to open a larger gate between worlds near the castle using our powers. But the gate is not open completely yet. If we 7 maidens come together, we can break the barrier around Ganon's hiding place. I will tell you where the other girls are held. I believe you will destroy Ganon. I will return to my original form at that time. Do you understand? Yeah, why not? May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. Right, so now that we've got the magic hammer, that enables us to open up some new areas. One new area in particular. So we get to this bridge with the pegs on it and we can hammer through them now and access this bit of the map. There's nothing to worry about here really, apart from fighting these guys. There you go, you are fought. So we head over towards, well, near where the Haunted Grove is, provided we don't get hit by lances in the face. The little piggy fellas throwing lances about the place. It's obscene. And we can do some more mirror trickery here. So let's get the magic mirror out. And there's a little raised platform here we couldn't reach before, with a cave and a piece of heart and some pottery. We like destroying pottery. Right, so now we want to head slightly north to where the Haunted Grove is in the Dark World. I think it's called the Haunted Grove in both, I don't know. That's what it's called on the official Zelda map, I think. So that's what I'm going to call it. And speak to this little fox fella here. I enjoyed playing the fruit. It was a small grove where I've gone too fast. Yes, I will try and find it. Here's a shovel. Thank you. Dig in many places, you never know what you'll find. Now, you can do that. Or alternatively, you can just immediately go and find his flute, which is what I'm going to do. But you have to walk slightly away, because if you use the mirror right next to him, you get trapped. So you have to wait for all the animals to run away. Right, so now we have to use the shovel and go and find his flute. There it is. Surely it has some mysterious power. Surely. Can't just be a flute. So let's go and show it to fantastic Mr. Fox. Take it to the village I live in. There's an old man. Play the flute for me now. Thank you. Well, there you go. I don't really get what happened here. I mean, because surely he's not dying or anything. I mean, is it beyond the realms of possibility that he could go home? But, you know, for some reason, everyone else who comes here just turns into a weird creature thing, but are technically still alive. Whereas, you know, I just want to be a log. Anyway, so we're going to take the flute to the village, like Log Boy said, Foxy Log Boy, and play it for a tired old man. Luckily, I know where there's a tired old man, and he's in the grog hut. There he is. Zzz. So you know he's tired. Did you meet my son? Where is he? Is he alright? He's half fox, half log. No, I have to go and speak to him again. Because he hasn't... I left without him telling me all the things I needed to know. Right, okay. Now I need to speak to him again. Play its sweet melody for the bird in the village square. There you are. He's not cryptic about it at all. You know that statue of a bird. Go and play the flute for that. Because trapped inside the statue is some sort of magical bluebird. Or a... He's not even... I mean, he's like a... Look at the size of that bill. He's like a duck or something. I don't know what that's meant to be. Obviously some sort of fantasy bird. Anyway, so we've done that. Now the next thing we want to do is go to the blacksmith's hut. And we can use the hammer to get down this little cave thing here. And this is going to be the only other use we have for magic powder, other than turning them things into fairies. So we throw it there, and this little bat fella comes out trying to pretend to be evil. Blast you and all that. So our magic power will drop by 1/2. Which I think is good. Right. So now if we head up this way, we've... not that way, the next one. We want to go back to the Dark World at this point, because we're going to do some more tricks with the mirror. And this is the... we have to use the village portal to do this bit, because like I say, we're going to try and get all the items as early as we can. If we run into this tree as well, we can get loads of apples, which work like hearts. I don't need them at the moment, but you may as well get them. Be nice if you got points or something for them, then it'd be worth doing. Yeah, so just into the woods we need to go to this point and then go back out the bottom entrance here. And if we run into this tree, we get a magic decanter, which fills up our magic meter, which is now 1/2. So yeah, hammer the stake in, and there's a warp point here. And it's the Dark World, hooray! So now we're gonna go out, basically go back the way we came, and come out the top of the village. So we've headed towards the graveyard was in the light world, and I'll show you where that point is on the map. So magic mirror, but we're at this point on the map, and we use the magic mirror up here to get into a little cave. Where lurking in that cave is some stuff. So if you go this way up and then use a bomb, you can get the bombs from under here. And then it's like you never used a bomb, but you did. Another piece of heart. Now, there's a trick here, and you're not supposed to be able to get the magic cape until later, but you can actually do it at this point. So straight after Palace number 1, you can actually get the magic cape at this point. And what you have to do is use the mirror in just the right spot. So that's about one space down from the top corner there. So right here. And then you have to run into the stone using the Pegasus boots to open it. And then walk down here and the magic cape is just sitting there. So not only does it make you invisible, although for some reason enemies can still see you, but it does mean you can walk through certain obstacles, which is what we're going to do now. So we head this way, past where the old sanctuary was, and upwards towards... where am I going now? Oh, there's nothing under there, is there? No, I knew there wasn't. Up towards where the path to the mountain was in the light world. And watch out for these things because they never leave you alone. They just continuously come flying at you like lunatics. There you go. Right, so there's a sign here that says something like the person who wears the magic cape can pass the barrier or something. Anyway, so we head into the cave. Kill these. What are they? I don't know what they are. Octopusy things. Go up the stairs, and we have to be very careful and just come in at the side here. Now normally you'd need the hook shot for that, but for some reason there's enough of a ledge there that you can actually just walk past. But this is what we need the cape for, to get past this bouncy thing. And that's it. That's probably the most useful the cape is, to be fair, in the entire game. Just to get this one piece of heart. But it's a piece of heart. So, there you go. And it's the only way to get it. But, there you are. You've just seen the extent of the usefulness of the magic cape. I can't think... I can't think in what other situation it is any use, to be fair. Right, so now we want to go back to the light world. And do you remember that tree that looked... that the Lumberjack brothers thought was a bit funny? well, you run into it using the Pegasus shoes. And there's a little lake thing. And some fairies. So that's handy, full health replenishment. And if we go through the door, piece of heart. So another heart level.